Welcome friends to this afternoon session, short session. I'm happy to come again and have your darshan. Always very nice to meet people who are on spiritual path. As an old person, I get some advantages. I enjoy riding my wheelchair and have helped by so many people. So people say old age is a bad thing. I find it very good. I enjoy it. Especially if you have a Satguru in your life, there is nothing like old age. Because in young age, you have so many distractions and so many things to do. You retire, you are with your Satguru, and if you have manifested him inside and see him and talk to him and walk with him, there is nothing like it. There is no better life I can imagine better than this. The greatest advantage of this path, Srut Shabd Yoga as taught by Baba Sawan Singh Ji, the biggest advantage is he does not say, this is the way, now you go. He says, come to me, I will take you there. Big difference. In this path, he is with you continuously. Just reach the railway station, behind the eyes, meet him there, rest of the journey is all together. It's such a beautiful way. When you begin to see him inside, which you say the radiant form of the Master, Nuri Swarup, when you see him inside and stabilize him, because you can have glimpses of him once in a while, that is not stable. But with practice, by remembering him, you will stabilize. Not imagining him, remembering him. Big difference. Don't imagine he is there, remember he is there because you remember seeing him. That is why darshan of a perfect living Master is a very important thing. Without darshan, you cannot do any dhyan. Dhyan cannot be done from photo. Dhyan cannot be done just by imagining things. Dhyan is done by remembering the face of the Master, especially his eyes and forehead that you see personally in darshan and remembering it. When you remember only one event, supposing you have just seen a Master walking and he just turned toward you and you got a chance to see him. In meditation, remember that episode. Master came and he turned around. This you can remember. When you remember and see this, you will see inside he will turn again and become alive again and continue to talk and do things for you. It is the remembrance of the Master that is the most important thing. If you don't remember, you can't do dhyan. We can do Simran, though that also is becoming difficult because the mind runs away so fast. But we can do it. We can listen to the sound if it is coming. Remembering is the most important thing. We do not remember the Master enough. We start taking it upon ourselves that we are going to do bhajan simran, we are going to get there. You should think differently. You think we are waiting for great Master, our Master to come and he will help us and we'll go with him. And we'll have an enjoyable journey. I have met many yogis and swamis, they told me this is the way to go. Now do it, it's all on yourself. This path says no, Satguru will take you with him. Short journey by yourself and he will take you all the way. The greatest pleasure, greatest joy and bliss you get it not after reaching Sachkhand, but on the journey itself with the Master. You see so much in the company of the Master who protects you from any negative experiences that you can have. Because in the stages, both positive and negative experiences exist. Both heavens and hells exist in the astral plane. So that is why sometimes by mistake one can go into negative territory. But if Master is with you, he will not let you go into the negative territory. That is why, remember, this is a joint journey that we make with our Master. And that is why we are very lucky that if we can have the darshan of a Master. There is nothing like darshan. It even modifies your karma and makes it more bearable. And more important than darshan is drishti. Drishti means master looking at you, looking at your eyes. When master looks at you, it has even deeper effect on you. And that becomes even easier to then remember. So that is why both darshan and drishti are important. Drishti is more important. That is why I tell a little story that my mother-in-law told me. Normally mother-in-laws and sons-in-law don't have the same kind of story. She told me a story about Narad Muni. Now as you know, Narad Muni was a yogi of the Muni status. There are many rishis, munis, and there are different status of yogis, and he had the Muni status. That means he had manifested his Ishta. Ishta means whoever he worshipped. He worshipped the creator of the universe, Brahma. So he would have a feeling that in his meditation, in his dhyan, he can talk to Brahma. And he was able to have that, and based on that, on direction that Brahmaji gave him, he was able to go around telling people different stories. He was a great storyteller. One story is that once Narad Muni was walking in a street in one village, and he saw hundreds of people running. And he said, "Where are you running?" They said, "A perfect saint has come, a Mahatma has come, and we are going for a darshan." He said, "What do you mean darshan?" "Oh, we want to see him, that is darshan." You should do something, not go and see a person. What is the value of darshan? And they didn't answer and they ran. So he manifested his own Ishta, his own Brahmaji in his meditation. And he said, "Brahmaji, I saw a lot of hundreds of people running to just see the face of a man whom they call a perfect Mahatma or a perfect saint. What is the benefit of looking at the person?" And Brahmaji said, "Narad Muni, you go to a certain village. In that village there is a tank of water and there is a snake in that tank. The snake will give you the answer." So Narad Muni traveled to that village and he indeed saw a tank of water and a snake with his head up like this. And he said, "Snake ji, what is the benefit of having darshan of a saint?" And snake looked at him, dropped his head and died. He could not get any answer. So he went back to Brahmaji in his meditation. He said, "Brahmaji, I followed your instructions and I saw the snake, but when I asked him this question, what is the value of having a darshan of a saint? The snake dropped his head and died." Brahmaji said, "Oh, I am sorry to hear that. Now you travel to a much further place. And there you will see, in a village, you will see there is a jeweler who has just bought a new parrot. Go and ask this question from the parrot, he will give you the answer." So Narad Muni traveled all the way to that village and asked if there is any jeweler living here. They said yes. And he went to the jeweler. "Did you have a parrot? I just acquired a new parrot. It's in the cage with me. May I have a talk with your parrot?" "Certainly, lucky parrot. You are Narad Muni's darshan." So when Narad Muni faced the parrot, he said, "Parrot ji, what is the benefit of having darshan of a saint?" The parrot dropped his head and died. He said, "This is strange. I am getting no answer." So he again went into meditation and again manifested Brahmaji and said, "Brahmaji, what is happening? You told me go to the snake. I went to the snake. He died. I went to the parrot and asked the question. The parrot died." Brahmaji said, "Oh, I am sorry to hear that. Now you go to another kingdom. There you will find that the queen will have given birth to a baby boy. Ask this question from the baby boy, the little child, he'll give you the answer." Snake and parrot were all right. Now he's telling that we should ask this question from a baby boy. Anyway, the kingdom was far away, so Narad Muni traveled for a long time to reach the country. For many months he was traveling, and one day he reached that kingdom and went to the palace. And the king met him because the king was surprised. Narad Muni, you traveled all this way to come so far away. We are so lucky. Narad Muni was very serious ways. He said, has your queen given birth to a baby boy? He said, yes, she just few days back gave baby birth and the baby is lying inside with the queen. Can I go and see the baby? Of course, baby is lucky to get your darshan. You are coming to see the baby. I want to see the baby alone. Nobody should be there. Okay, we'll put the baby alone in that room. So baby was alone and Narad Muni said, baby, what is the advantage of having darshan of a saint? And the baby spoke. Little infant spoke. Said, Narad Muni, I am the same snake you saw in the pond. And I am the same parrot you saw in the jeweler's house. You are not a saint. You are merely a Muni. But even your darshan helped me to cut short my life of a snake and become a bird. And second time I saw you, your darshan helped me to cut short that life, become a human being. This is the help that I get from your darshan. Darshan of the saint is 1,000 times more. This story, my mother-in-law told me, I always say thank you, mother-in-law. Normally one doesn't say that. The darshan and drishti are important. It makes a difference. The most important factor in this is that without darshan, you cannot do dhyan. The three parts of the method of meditation, Baba Sawan Singh Ji taught, included simran, so that you can learn to put words in the mouth of your mind. So it doesn't have other words to repeat, which means cut short the thought by forcing the mind to repeat the word. It should be done with the mind, not with the tongue. Doing with the tongue and mind is doing something else is not called simran. What does Kabir say? Kabir says, Mala to kar mein phire, kar means the hand. Mala to kar mein phire, jeev phire, mukh mai, manva to chahudesh phire. Yeh to simran nahi. This is not simran when your mind is running around. Only that is simran with the mind does. So even when you put the mind to repeat these words, you will find the mind can repeat for a little while and go away into other thoughts. But simran, even if you practice, it is only a temporary aid to going to the astral plane. No more. Simran does not take you to your true home, because simran is consisting of words, spoken words, varanatmak shabd. It's not even dhunatmak shabd, it's just varanatmak shabd, which can only be used in the physical plane and the astral plane. Causal plane has no words at all. That is why it does not even reach the upper level of the mind. A temporary aid, so we can collect our attention, try to beat the mind with it, and have our seat of location, that we should feel we are behind the others. After that, it is only the Shabad Dhun, the sound that comes, that can pull us further to the causal plane. The sound is the second more important thing, because after Simran, the sound only picks up and takes you to the second plane. After that, neither the sound we hear nor the words we repeat have any value to go further. That is why people whose whole meditation consists of only these two things have never gone beyond the mind. What takes you beyond the mind is the love of the master, which is acquired by dhyan. The dhyan is the most important part to go beyond the mind. By dhyan, you are remembering the master. When you remember the master, you feel the pull of his love. This is a path of love and devotion. Paltu Sahib says, Sahib ke darbar mein keval bhakt pyar. Nothing else is there in our true home except love and devotion. Devotion is merely a response to love. When you feel love, you automatically become a devotee. So devotion and love go together. So what pulls you above is the master's love. Master is with you at every stage. It's very strange. You start with master outside. You go inside, master is inside. You go to the astral plane, master is there. You go to causal plane, master is there. And after that, Master's love increases at every stage, and that love pulls you, and you discover the Master is pulling you from beyond the mind. He's not pulling you from where he is. Even here, when Master is in a physical body, and we see him, and we feel the pull is not coming from the physical body. Pull is coming from the soul of the Master, which is alive and awakened, even when he's with us in the physical body. He is aware of not only his soul, he is aware of such kind. Therefore, when Master is at any state, physical, astral, causal, his pull is coming from such kind directly. That is why it's a rare thing. Great Master used to say, what is the difference between a Master and ourselves? We all look the same, we all are like human beings. What is the difference? Then he used to give an example. In those days, he used to have small radio sets. He said, supposing you have 10 radio sets sitting here, and none of them have any battery or no electric connection, and one of them gets connected with the electric power, with a battery or with electric power, only that one will give you the news of the world, although they all look the same. We are like that. We all look the same. The Masters are connected to such kind even when you see them here. That is why the pull of the Master is coming right from there. That is the beauty of this path, that the Master takes us with his love. And when we reach the top, the Master makes us exactly like himself. This is a great deal. He does not say, I will make you better people. Thousands of people are working to make us better people in this world. He does not say, I will make you go to the highest place. He says, I will make you exactly like myself. They say there is a philosopher's stone. When you touch iron with that, it becomes gold. But Master is like a philosopher's stone. When it touches us, it makes a philosopher's stone, not gold. The very power of making gold comes in. So therefore, a true Gurmukh, one who is following the Guru, and has attained that status, the status of a Gurmukh and the Master is identical. Master has got an extra job to do, that he initiates people, he takes them back as part of his destiny, as part of his role as a human being. But the Gurmukh has the same experience as he has. He wants to make each one of his disciples exactly like himself with the same awareness, same knowledge. So we are very lucky sitting here in the shades of Masters. So I am happy that I could share some of these views with you. I understand many of you have asked for personal time. Therefore I am cutting this session short so I can see some of you for a few minutes, couple of minutes personal time. Please confine your question to one or two important questions which you can ask in 1 or 2 minutes, because a number of people are waiting in line. Thank you once again for joining me, and I hope you will enjoy the tips I have given and use them in your regular meditation.